Chicago, guys, just so you know, it's called the Windy City. Not because it's windy, but because people in Chicago were windy, meaning they were boastful that they came from this big, beautiful city. And it is a special place where a lot of things have happened. Now, I think that's Soldier Field right there, right?
Yes.
Who plays there?
Bears.
Yeah, Bears. Now, Bears play right there, kids. Look at that shit. Look at that skyline against that beautiful sky. Okay, so I just had a Palestinian, Lebanese, Middle Eastern feast. I ate strained yogurt, I ate chickpeas falafel, I ate lamb shawarma, I had a spinach pie. I ate all the food, okay? Now, I'm taking a 49-minute break, because that's how long it takes to get there, 49 minutes. And then I'm gonna have a 7-course meal with the first Latin American chef to win a Michelin star. So I've got to pretend I'm super hungry, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna eat all the food, and you better help me, Nick.
No.
Nick is huge,
No.
but Nick is like,
I'm so full.
Nick is cutting down.
Trying to get shredded.
Nick's a bodybuilder, so he's going to Brazil, and he's gonna be on the beach, so he wants to look shredded. So he orders coffee, and he's like, hey, can I have some non-fat milk? Which that annoys the shit out of me. Fucking get your milk with whole milk or half and half immediately. You don't know Mexican food. Tzuco. This is Tzuco in Chicago. Oh my God, this is the tip of the iceberg. So it's important. Carlos Gaytan is the first Latin American chef to win a Michelin star, which is astonishing to me because in 2022 you'd think there'd be a lot more. We have a long way to go, but it's kind of a huge, it's kind of a historic thing.
It is.
I mean, you know, what was that like for you? Was it a huge surprise or what?
Yeah, especially because when I won the Michelin star,
Yeah.
I didn't know what a Michelin star was. I didn't know. I was not presumed to get a Michelin star, and then I was about to close the restaurant. I might as well, yeah, because it was very quiet. It was about 10 minutes away from here, West Town, and there's no traffic over there. Yeah, and then it was difficult business. It was a small restaurant, 60 seats. And the week that I was thinking that I was gonna close, got on my knees, pray. The next day, they call me, basically that they follow me. And then since I opened the restaurant, and they're really big fans of my food, and I was the first Latin American to earn the Michelin star.
That's amazing.
What
I
a
didn't have to
shock.
close. Yeah. I closed that restaurant and I went back to Mexico. I traveled all over Mexico. I opened another restaurant down in Riviera Maya. And then I was thinking to stay in Mexico. And then talking to my daughter, and I told her, you know, like, I really believe that I want to stay in Mexico and open restaurants here. And she's like, you know what, Dad? If you open restaurants in Mexico, you're gonna do really well. Everybody loves you in Mexico, and you're gonna be very successful. But you're not that kind of guy. Like, you don't like anything easy. You come back to Chicago, you have to start from zero, and you have to. Yeah.
here's what I'm always fascinated. When it comes to chefs, I think it's a personality trait. It's an alpha type A personality trait. You have a combination of artistry, fearlessness, and you have to be a tyrant at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be like, this is the way it is. It's almost like, you know, they always say in a jazz band, the trumpet player is the guy who's going to punch you first, you know? And I feel like chefs are the same way because it requires, you have to know everything. You've got to be able to manage people. You got to be able to motivate people. You have to be able to fix problems as they happen.
Yeah.
It's not just about, you know, it's not just about preparing food.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So did you always know you wanted to be a chef?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, when I was little, I grew up in the business. I understand everything, you know, by ingredients. And I think that it got me to drive me exactly where I want to be, you know, where I am right now. And then working in the fields with my grandpa, it taught me how to cultivate, you know, ingredients like tomatoes, corn, green beans, watermelons. So I grew up doing it, you know.
You grew up working in the
Working
fields.
in the field with my grandpa. And go hunting with my father as well, you know, in the mountains. And then
What would you hunt for?
deers, quails, rabbits, iguana. Yeah. Iguana.
Is iguana good to eat?
It is good.
No.
Yeah.
What does it taste
It's
like?
really clean flavors. It's more mild than a chicken. White meat, good for stews.
Wow.
It goes really fast.
Wow.
It's good to be here, and it's just funny. I think about my age a lot. I'm getting to an age, man. It's so crazy. I'm 30, so I know physically. No, I'm 55. That's a weird age when you're 55 because I don't know how it happened. Like, yeah, anybody who's my age knows. Like, I was 40 3 months ago. And that's what happens. You run into friends your age. You're like, what's going on? They're like, fucking. I know. You know.
Here we got the aguachile camarones. A very traditional dish from, it comes from the Rivera Nayarit.
Chef, would you say that there is because whenever I hear people talk about Mexico City, the first thing they say is, you have to eat the food. The food's amazing.
It's amazing.
Is there a renaissance of culinary? Is there sort of a culinary renaissance going on in Latin America, or has it always been there?
It's always been there. Probably people, let's say the Mexican cuisine in the United States, we always being bad represented by the Mexicans. We always, you know what, try to do the easy way, make tacos, something quickly. So people really, when they talk about Mexican cuisine, they really think of very cheap food, fast food.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, Taco Bell.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, Mexican cuisine, you get really into the roots. You know, a lot of stews, a lot of great ingredients that people do not know about it. My biggest belief, you know, Mexico went very early to cultivate, you know, the Mexican culture, Mexican cuisine, and develop, you know, a very amazing recipes. So we have a lot of French influence as well. And when the Spanish came, you know, a lot of it came with some French influence. So Maximiliano, I was our president in those days. He was eating nothing but French cuisine.
Oh, yeah.
It was very specific of French cuisine. And he brought the chefs from France to be their chefs, you know. And then and it's how they start all the influence, you know, breads, a lot of ways to, let's say, carnitas. You talk about carnitas, they taught us how to confit the meats.
Yeah.
You know, and their own fat. We didn't do it before, you know. We did it after we learned how to make carnitas.
So that changed everything.
It changed everything now. Carnitas, if you talk about carnitas, you're always gonna say it's Mexican. It is Mexican. But you know, we were taught up from the French cuisine.
Yeah.
This is, it's not just delicious. It's got a taste I've never had before.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what
yeah.
you did, but
No. Please,
there's a smoky taste to it. Is that the
Go
smoke?
for it.
Is that the smoked onion?
It's
Oil?
the smoked onion oil. So I incorporate these ingredients that it makes the difference. When I cook Mexican cuisine, I don't want to just cook a Mexican cuisine. I cook the Mexican cuisine that I want to cook, you know, so it's different. And my team has been trained for that, you know. We don't want to be another restaurant.
Yeah.
We want to be the restaurant.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And where in Mexico are you from exactly?
I was born and raised in a small town called Tzuco.
Tzuco.
Tzuco means place of thorns. That's why you see many thorns in the boxes.
Place of thorns.
Yeah.
And it's where is it in relation to
It's-
north or south of
It's south of the country, nearby Acapulco. And that's why the name of my restaurant is Tzuco, is because it comes from Tzuco, so we just cut in half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know that you have a museum and it's the Museum of Anesthesiology? Do I get put to fucking sleep when I go there? Because that would be more fun than walking through the Museum of Anesthesiology. Is it a museum where I fall asleep? Because it's fucking... I don't care about anesthesiology. Unless you're gonna operate on my spine, then put me out. But I'm not gonna be like, can you tell me more about the chemicals that go... I don't know, okay, that's not funny. But you guys are taking offense. I feel like you're quiet about it, but have you been? My idea of hell, if I die, I know I've been a bad person in my past life, if I wake up as a guide in the Museum of Anesthesiology in Schaumburg, like, holy shit, I mean, what is that like? If this over here back in the day, we used to have to bite a piece of leather and drink whiskey. Now we have anesthesiology. That's the tour. Yeah, thank you.
This is Tlacoyo. When you go to Mexico City, you find a street food.
Yeah.
And then this is one of my favorites to eat in the street food when it comes, you know, standing outside basically in the street. Like you have a lot of stands and they're gonna have this tlacoyo. It's basically masa that has been mixed with black beans, green beans. Everything goes inside. But in this case, I just did the masa.
What's masa?
Masa is the corn dough. And I sear, put in the flip top, cook it all the way, finish it with black beans, the green beans, salsa cruda. Salsa cruda is raw tomatillos, garlic, serrano peppers, all mixed together, cilantro. And we mix it up with green beans. We put it right on top, sour cream and queso fresco. Very simple, very delicious. It gets my mouth watery. Just think about the flavor.
What a dream, man. What a dream, because your restaurant's not doing well. You get on your knees, you pray to God,
Yeah.
and a week later, they're like, hey,
Next day.
the next day,
Next day.
I gotta start praying. I gotta start
The next
praying.
day.
For real,
Yeah.
I gotta start praying more.
Yeah.
What are we, that's an octopus?
It's an octopus coated with salsa macha. Salsa macha is made with 3 chiles, dried chiles, almonds, sesame seeds, garlic, ginger, lemon zest, lemon juice. And then on top, those little dots are tunato aioli. Tunato is, we confit the tuna fish, tuna fillet, tuna fish. And then after that, we make a mayonnaise with that. And then this is almost like a ensalada rusa, but the vegetables are being pickled. So it has very beautiful,
This is-
getting assets
involved.
to it.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I'm such a food lover, man. I love food so much. I think if I could have been anything, it would have been a chef, but I don't have the patience. But I really think there's such a difference between being a cook and a chef. A chef transcends, you know? It's that mixture of art. It takes a lot of guts too, because you don't know if people are gonna like it. It's so personal. It's such a personal expression, you know?
Yeah.
But if you believe in yourself, obviously it's like, if you don't like it, kiss my ass, you know?
Sometimes you don't believe yourself, you just believe. You have to make everyone believe that what you do is top notch, top of the line. You know, being a Mexican chef, cook, it's my job to build new talents back there. And that's one of the things that I teach them, you know, how to, because everyone who wants to work for me, the only reason they want to work for me is because they want to learn how to get here where I am. And it's very easy to bring these kids to my level. But I always say, you know, it's not gonna stop right there. So you gotta work really hard and be better than me. You gotta do homework as well. I can teach you today, I can take you where I am, but it's up to you, you know. You wanna grow, get better than me, you have to do a lot of homework. And just be creative and out of the blue.
You see, I think that cooking and being a chef is a metaphor for how the world progresses. And what I mean by that is that that's a classic example. When cultures share ideas, when cultures come together, all of us get smarter.
Yeah.
Everything gets better. It's how you evolve.
Yeah.
You know, you can say that about martial arts. You can say, you know, when the Koreans are kicking, Americans are boxing. When the Brazilians are wrestling, you get MMA, okay?
Yeah.
When you get a guy of your talent who goes to Israel and they're looking for stuff and you go, look at the way they're making lamb. Maybe instead of mixing eggplant, I'll mix beans. A new dish is born.
Yeah.
And it's if you look at cultures that continue to grow, and that's what I think the magic of the United States, the magic is that there's no one identity. Nobody has a monopoly on being an American. Yeah. American is exactly what you're talking about. Americans like you who go, yeah, you're from Mexico, okay, but you're American. Your expression is American because you are a guy who is a hybrid. You're coming in and you're an equal opportunity employer, man. You're like, hey, bring it all, put it all in my mouth. I'm ready, man. It's like that's how you get better. You're trying things. You're traveling the world. You're taking from here, you're taking from here, taking from here, and then you get this. That's
Incredible.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you try the salad?
No, I'm gonna try the salad next.
Good.
It's out of control. Wait, this is important. I hate cilantro, and I for some reason I love cilantro today. I'm like everything about this place is unbelievable.
So good.
Guys, quick interruption. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you check your credit score? No? Didn't think so. Well, at Chime, that's exactly what they do. With their secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with your own money. Chime reports your payments to credit bureaus to help you build credit over time, and their members see an average of 30 points on their credit. It's kind of crazy. And all of this with no annual fees, no large security deposits, or credit checks to apply. How about that? So start your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. So get started with chime.com best of. That is chime.com best of. CHIME, Chime. And this is a mandatory disclosure, so bear with me. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank NA pursuant of a license from Visa USA. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have positive impact on your credit score. Isn't this fun? Impact to score may vary, and some user scores may not improve. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply except at MoneyPass ATMs in a 7-Eleven or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Thank you, guys. Now back to the program.
Now, I know when I write a joke, okay, it's like writing a song. There's a harmony, there's a tempo, there's a rhythm, there's an ingredient to it. Like there's a perfect amount of words in a joke. There's a perfect amount of like emphasis. And there's almost like a musicality to it.
Yeah.
And it seems like a dish. When you make a dish like this, there's the perfect amount of salt, the perfect amount of like, you know, your onion oil. There's a perfect amount of sugar. It's that you're playing with that all the time, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're always coming out with these amazing recipes. I've never tasted any, so far, I've eaten everywhere in the world. I've never had anything that tastes like that, never had anything that tastes like that, nothing that tastes like that. So I understand why you got a Michelin star.
I'm always fascinated with an artist. What is your process? How are you coming up with these ideas? What do you do?
What I do, first of all, I got the idea what I want to make, and I write the ingredients, and I go shopping. When I got back, all the ingredients that I have, we put in the scale. Before I didn't do anything like that. I just cook the way that I want to cook, and that's it.
Instinct.
Yeah, it was by instinct. Yeah, exactly. I didn't write anything. I didn't know how to make the for the first time, so the second time I tried to remember the way that I did it. So it was a little difficult. Now you got a big restaurant, you got a business to run, and
It's a big. How many tables in this?
this is 160 seats.
Damn.
So a day like today, we had done like 300 for brunch and 400 for dinner. So we do 700 on a busy day.
You have no social life.
What's that?
That's what
no
it is.
social life. No social life. No, nothing at all. It's just hard.
Well, chefs are crazy. You have to be a little crazy. You have to be. It's almost like being a pro athlete or something like that, or a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being like a leader of a kitchen, where you have to juggle. You're probably born with the temperament, I would imagine. But
Yeah.
what did you have to learn? Because you're juggling so many different things. You're motivating people.
Rule number one for me is how to become a good leader in my kitchen and everything that I do. And when I say a leader, it's by sample.
By example.
Yeah, so I told my kids, I call everyone kids. So my kids, don't do what I don't do, and do what I do. You know, you see me sweeping, mopping the floor. If I ask you, you have to do it because you see me doing it.
Yeah.
If I don't scream in the kitchen, you don't scream in the kitchen either, you know? And that's what I do, you know, and everyone is happy. I mean, they spend so much time here with me. I spend so much time with them. They're weekend family.
Where'd you learn that? Where'd you get that discipline?
Home.
Home. Mom, dad?
Yeah.
And you were raised how? Religious?
Yes, let's say, yeah.
And hard work.
And hard work.
I mean, your grandfather worked in the fields. If he's a farmer,
Yeah.
Nobody works harder than farmers.
No. And nobody appreciate them as
Nobody.
much as someone that really been working and the farmers.
So talk about that for a second, because you were working in obscurity, small restaurant. Things weren't going well because there's no traffic over there. You're about to close shop. You're gonna go back to Mexico. It's like, forget it. You get on your knees, the next day you win a Michelin star. What is that? What goes on there?
You just learn the hard way. Had to be a Michelin star guy. It's just, that's difficult.
Do you feel more pressure or less pressure?
More pressure.
Everybody's watching you.
You don't cook to have a Michelin star, you just cook because you love to cook. And out of the blue, you become a Michelin Star Chef and like, oh my God.
Oh my God, is right.
It's not what I want. Well, obviously, yeah. No, I understand why it's so important, you know. When I first opened, my first day off after opening in September 16, it was when we shut down for COVID. 6 months later, I didn't have no day off. And then including some of my kitchen staff, they didn't want to take the day off because I was not taking a day off. So they were like, no, chef, you're not taking a day off. We're not going to take a day off. Like, but that's my place, my restaurant. This is built to be like this.
You're motivating people. You got good people.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we're here. Like,
what is your criteria when you hire somebody? What are you looking for?
What we do normally is a process to hire people. We invite them to do a stage. They come in and they work for free for you 2 or 3 days a week. And you see them, and like they just looking on the watch. They're working 3 hours and they just want to go. They're not good for you.
Thomas Keller, I ate at French Laundry recently.
Amazing restaurants.
And Thomas Keller, I said to him, what do you look for? I mean, what are you looking for? And all he said was desire. Because if you want to learn, I can teach you anything.
Yeah.
And that's the same idea. I want to see hunger.
Yeah.
You know, and you either have hunger or you don't.
Exactly.
You know, that's it. But let me ask you this. I give you $50 million. Do you retire?
I will be cooking. I will never retire.
You can't, right?
You can't.
Because what are you going to do with 50 million? You're going to hang out, you're going to get fat. I mean, you know.
I think you're gonna be cooking more than ever. You know, because you're gonna be home, and everyone wants to come to your house because you cook good,
Right.
and they want to see what you're doing.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be, like, it's like cooking for yourself. It's like playing an instrument in the air. You want to play for people. You need an audience.
Yeah. And when you're creating your own cuisine, maybe it's something new in the market. But if you think about it, maybe that dish that people love so much, maybe in 100 years, it's going to be a very traditional Mexican dish. You know, you have to think about those things all the time.
Damn. Have you brought your family from down south
Yeah.
up to your restaurant?
Matter of fact, one day I went home. Cochinita pibil is very traditional dish from Yucatan area, from the Riviera Maya. I learned from the masters over there. I went over and they taught me how to make cochinita pibil. And I used to have that in my menu. And one day I went back home before I opened Tzuco. And then I make that cochinita pibil for everyone in home. And we were having dinner and everybody was quiet. And I was like, this is not good.
No, it is good.
That's not good because normally when I cook, everyone's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And I asked my mom, I said, hey, Mom, how's my cochinita pibil? And she turns around and she's like, my dear son, I will cook cochinita pibil for you tomorrow. My cochinita pibil. And I'm like, oh,
Oh, bro.
ouch. Ouch.
What did you do wrong?
And then, well, I learned that cochinita pibil from Guerrero is very different and ingredients from Yucatan. So the next day I wake up with her early, went to the market, buy the ingredients, and totally different. When I tasted the difference, it was huge difference
Really?
in flavors. So I asked her, I said, hey Mom, do you mind if I put this cochinita pibil in my menu? She's like, just one condition, my son. I'm like, yeah, let me know. She's like, I want to go to Chicago and try it. So I had to fly her over and to try my cochinita.
It's amazing, bro.
And she approved it. So actually is one of the most seller dishes.
To go from the south of Mexico in a small town to being a Michelin star restaurant owner in the north of the United States, in Chicago.
Chicago.
It's such a crazy journey, man.
It is.
It's such a crazy accomplishment.
It is. It is. And it's.
If you had a last meal,
A steak, potatoes, tomatoes, goat cheese fondue. That's it.
dude, that was quick.
Yeah.
He's thought about that before.
Yeah.
Steak,
Potatoes,
potatoes,
tomatoes,
tomatoes.
goat cheese fondue.
That's a very simple meal.
You're gonna have that.
I
tonight.
am.
Yeah. Every dish that I have, it has a reason why.
Woo.
And that's why I had the steak.
We're gonna eat the last meal. What is going on here?
This is tetela. Tetela is a dish that comes from Oaxaca. It's tortilla, it's stuffed with tinga de pollo. Tinga de pollo basically is a dish from Puebla. And this is really a small town between Puebla and Oaxaca. The name of the town is Tetela, is where this comes from. So I got both states together in one dish.
This is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, are you guys kidding me?
This is
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at the bread that's homemade.
this is the dish.
This is the dish. Steak, potatoes, tomatoes, goat cheese fondue.
It's your last meal.
Can be my last meal. Yeah,
Dude.
for sure.
That's unbelievable.
This is ridiculous, amazing. Saffron beurre blanc, dry chorizo, pico jalapenos, and mussels, and bread that we make at home. That I learned in pandemic how to make bread.
This is Chef Carlos Gaytan's last meal.
Yeah.
Steak, goat cheese fondue,
Tomato.
tomatoes. It's
Very
so
simple.
stupid good. And look, he makes that bread himself. If that doesn't make you believe in God, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Everything has been completely unique. That's the difference. You know what? You don't come to Tzuco and go, oh yeah, that tastes just like that.
No.
No,
That's what you don't say. So congratulations on being original.
thank you.
That's the hardest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that you're a Michelin star winner.
Well, this is the dish that I was telling you about my mom.
Yeah.
The one that she taught me how to make.
This is how your mom cooked?
Yeah.
And says it's any wonder why you're a chef on
Yeah.
your level? Now, how long do you cook this to get this like this?
3 hours and a half.
3 hours.
3.5 to 4 hours sometimes.
What is this? Lamb?
That's pork.
Pork.
Pork shanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. I love pork.
Gotta try
Yeah.
that.
You got to try everything.
That's what I said, you know, the whole entire trip. And I couldn't eat it. I gained 6 pounds.
What the fuck?
6 pounds?
You gained 6
3
pounds
weeks.
today.
That is so good. It's I don't want to eat anything else. I just want that. We're in Tzuco. Tzuco with Chef Carlos Gaytan, the first Latin American chef to win a Michelin star. I'm sitting with history. I'm sitting with a trailblazer. I'm sitting with an original, all right? All the way from the south of Mexico, all the way up here in Chicago. Now he owns 3 restaurants. Now the work really begins. There's no happily ever after. There's no arriving. He's just starting, and he's got to keep staying relevant. And it's a beautiful thing, man. And on top of that, he's got a man bun. On top of that, he's not losing any of his hair, and he has no gray, which I
few.
resent. Just a few, yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to him in 5 years. In the meantime, I'm impressed. This has been best of, and I'm gonna say this right now. This is the best Mexican food and some of the best food, period, I've ever had, and I know the whole table agrees.
100%.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
I've been alive
What
a
an
long
honor.
time. But it's not surprising to you.
Oh, this is what I do for a living. And this is what I want to achieve every day with every single one that comes to my restaurants. I want to have one of the best experience.
This is not
all
what you
the
do,
time.
this is what you create. And
Exactly.
that's what this is about. Best stuff, we're out.
So the day is not over, okay? We got 2 shows, and in between shows we have Dr. Mohammed Shalabi, who is a chiropractor who's going to adjust everybody before the second show. Now, I feel like a jungle snake after it eats a caiman or a small deer, all right? My stomach is bursting at the seams. So if he pushes on my body, something's gonna give, and that something is my shitter. All right? So I hope he doesn't mind soiling his table. You better be careful, is what I'm trying to say. So we got an adjustment coming. We got stand-up coming. Then I'll hit the sack.
Ooh.
You know what? That wasn't that bad. That felt pretty damn good. I feel taller.
We're with Dr. Mohammed Shalabi, and he is on crack addicts, back crack addicts on TikTok.
Dr. Chicago Cracks.
Dr. Chicago Cracks. And I'm about to go out for my next show, but I'm gonna have my back adjusted. I'm gonna wait to my neck, but my friends weren't, and they love it.
Beautiful.
Taking that, huh? All the way out. That wasn't bad.
gonna get in trouble.
It's the most vulnerable I've ever seen Bryan.
That's the way you end a best of after a long day, sparring, hitting mitts, eating Palestinian food, eating the best Mexican food you can find, Michelin 1 star, or Michelin star I should say. And then we rounded off with Dr. Mohammed Shalabi, who it's been a day of Arabic celebration. Food, Belal Muhammad, my Egyptian / Palestinian brother, who just lengthened my body and opened me, and all my bad spirits left my body. And when my back broke, it wasn't just gas, all the bad energy. So now I've got some good energy, man. I feel beautiful. So that's how we do it here. We got one more show in Chicago. Best stuff.